that essentially that we teach other people how to love us based on how we love ourselves. And a lot of us, we can try to fake that, but it's really like we have to get to the point where, I don't care if you love what I'm doing. I don't care if you're on board with my beliefs, because I love me and I'm cool with me. And when you can reach that point, and when you reach that sort of level of self-love and self-care and self-acceptance, what'll happen is the people who don't accept that, they'll sort of wither out a little bit. And then the people who do will be attracted to you. They'll come into your life. They'll stay in your life. They'll have your back. They'll know who you are at your core. Because at this level, at this point in your awareness and self-love and self-care, you're cool with you, and people get to know the real you. And that's what they love, and that's what they stick around for. And it's usually when people get caught up, trying to be something else because they don't love themselves, and people get caught up in trying to fit in with this group or that group, and then the people that know them as trying to fit in with them, that's the part of them they know. But unfortunately, they get to know this person, and then years down the line, they fade out because that's not even who this person is. And so I just want you to think about this, like, how much do you love yourself? What sorts of self-love and self-care are you doing on a daily basis? And if it's nothing, I would highly suggest that you question that you begin to sort of reassess what you're doing, and learn to fall in love with you, no matter where you're at, no matter what you look like. Like I remember, and this is just going to be totally open with you, and this is just being vulnerable, but you know what, you're in my tribe. If you're watching this video, you're in my tribe. And I often will ask questions of you, to be open and vulnerable. So you want that from me. And I remember when I first, I think I was about 23, and I started to lose my hair. And I remember going bald was like one of my biggest fears, and it started to happen. And for years I just talked so much shit to myself, and I just would look at disgusted at myself, and how could somebody love me? And I'll never forget that the transition sort of started to happen when I'll never forget, I used to Google guys that I knew that were bald that were good looking, right? I would Google Kelly Slater, the surfer, or Vin Diesel, or The Rock, or I would find these dudes that were balling and killing it, as handsome bald men. And I remember see, that could be me. I could totally be that person. And I went through a phase of trying to be like that, right? Like Vin Diesel, get really buff and ripped, and that was cool, but that didn't, that was sort of putting on a facade, right? Sort of this image that I wanted to embody. But it wasn't until I really said, I'm totally cool with me. If somebody doesn't love me, because of this or because of that, they're not meant to be in my life. And I'll never forget when I made that transition and I realized that, I'm beautiful. I'm a 1 in 7.5 billion kind of beautiful. There's nobody in the world like me that has my soul, that has my spirit, that has my voice, that's experienced the life that I've experienced. And it's that and tied into my love for me, for my body, and for my lack of hair, and for my scars that I have on my face, and all these things. It's the ability to love those things, my imperfections and my imperfections, right? Because there's no such thing. And just be totally cool with me, and just totally accept it. Yes, this is me for who I am. Accept it, love it, take it for what you have. And if you don't like it, so what? Get out of here. Because if I was going to attract somebody who didn't love me, right, because of that, how is it going to be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line? It's going to be all bad, right? So essentially I was like, well, hey, whoever loves me for this, my beautiful bald self, they're going to be around for the good, for the long haul. And lo and behold, I met Nicole, my wife, and we hit it off right away, and she has been my ride or die ever since, and will be for the rest of our lives, Lord willing. Mother of my child, most beautiful soul I've ever met. And I'm blessed every day to have her. But it all started with me being totally fine with me, being totally acceptance of being alone. I might be alone for the rest of my life, but I might not be. I'm amazing, and anyone who's in my circle or who chooses to be in a relationship with me is lucky. They're lucky, just how I'm lucky to get to know them and to step into their world. So, I just want you to think about that. Are you at that level of love, self-love? Are you at that level of self-acceptance and being cool with, I'm totally fine with being alone for the rest of my life. I'm also cool with getting married. I'm also cool with just being in a committed relationship or not being. Just having that foundation of love and acceptance for yourself. That's really where it's at. That's where the beauty is. That's where life gets good. And so, I hope this love transmission helps you in some way, shape, or form. And it's just like I said, it is a transmission. It just sort of came to me. I'm just talking here, as you can see, sort of like a stream of consciousness. But hey, being vulnerable with you guys is sort of what allows me to connect to you and make me feel like I'm contributing in some small way. So I hope this helps. Feel free to share it out with your friends, with your family. Don't forget to subscribe below. Hit like, whatever, just because it allows this to reach even more people. But the message here is to spread love, be love, embody love, and love will eventually win out. And that's the end goal. So I love you guys. Peace, love, and light. Talk soon.